Okay. So, hello, Assalamu alaikum students. This is your teacher Askambat, and today we are going to start a new paper, and this is paper 2, reading 2, and Feb March paper. Okay, so this is Feb March paper, and this paper is O-levels business, as you can see. This is paper O-level, sorry, paper 2 O-levels business. Feb March 2024. So this is a research paper, and we know that we have a case study and we have to read it. And after reading it, we have to solve four questions, and each question has two parts. And first part is basically 8 markers, and the second part is for the 12 markers. So first of all, just let me read the questions first. Sorry, it is basically the morning time. It is like further time, so that's why I'm just a little bit dizzy. So yes. Okay, so we have the question number one. So in the question number one, the examiner is asking us about to write or explain and explain the four reasons that why government support the startups of new businesses. So basically, this question is it means that we don't have to apply this question. It means that there is no marks for the application, because this question is a general question. It means that this is basically not linked with the case study, and you don't have to write your points in the context of the case studies. So in this question, in this particular question, because they are not using the word of anything which is related to your case study, and they even didn't use the name of the business. So that's the reason that in this question you have to write the journal points, that what are the journal reasons that why most of the government supports the startup of any new business. Okay. And after that we have the B part. So if you see that in the B part, they are asking us about to use the appendix 1 and other information. It means that we have to write the information which we will see in the appendix 1. And also we have to talk in the context of the other information which will be written in the case study. So consider how AF may be affected by the following three changes in legal controls over employment issues in country X. So basically, maybe if you will know this thing, that the factors which can influence your business, it can be internal factors or it can be external factors. It means that if maybe something happening within the business, it can affect your business activity, and something which may be happening outer side of the business, so it can also affect your business activity. So here they are asking about the factors which is related to the employment issues. So it means that in country X, this AF business is dealing, and there are something happening over employment issues in the country X, and government maybe have established some legal controls over the employment issues. And whenever government is making any kind of regulation, so these regulations always maybe get some benefits and some disadvantage for the businesses. So the legal controls which have the most effect on AF. So basically these are three types of legal controls. Okay, and every legal control may affect the AF differently. Maybe in these three legal control, maybe one legal control is very much affected for the AF, or the rest of the two legal control maybe don't affect a lot to AF business activities. So it means that uh, we have to discuss that how, if the legal minimum wage increases, so how can this legal control can affect the AF. So we have to talk about in the negative terms and also in the positive terms. Why? Because in the end we have to make a conclusion, and we have to make a conclusion that in these three legal controls, which legal control affected AF most. So that is the reason that we have to write the negative effect and also the positive effect of each legal control. So the first one is that increase the legal minimum wage. So we know that whenever this kind of legal control is there, so this would also increases the cost for the businesses. Okay, and of course, if the cost is increasing, so what does it mean? It can affect your prices, and if it is affecting your prices, so it means that it can affect your sales also. And because the since the minimum wage rate is increasing, so it means that cost of production is increasing, and if the cost of production is increasing, so it means that it can lower your profit margins, and it can lower your profit margin. And if this is a partnership business, so it means at the end there is very less residual profit which will be shared between the partners. And if this is a private limited company, so again this is also an issue. If this is a PLC, so it means that maybe the amount of the dividend will decrease. So it means that you cannot accomplish your shareholders aims. So, and the other thing, if we talk about the positive side of it, so positive side would be that if the minimum wage is increasing, so what does that mean? It is simply means that it can raise the productivity of your employees. And if the productivity is rising, so it means that less errors, more output, meeting more demands, etc, these kind of things. But these are the general points, but we have to write the points in the context of the case study. So it means that we will see that if the legal minimum wage is increasing, okay, so at that time, what sort of problems AF would have in the future, and what maybe sort of problems this business still have. So we have to talk about in that context also. I just want to make sure that this business is oh sorry, this meeting is running or not, because previously I think yesterday I made a video on this topic, and I think I have invested 2 and 2.5 hours on this paper. As you can see that the answer is written here. But after I think 2 hours or maybe after 2.5 hours when I checked, so I was shocked because this meeting didn't record. So that's why this is a reason that yesterday this video couldn't come, because I supposed to upload this video yesterday, but now I am uploading it, I'm recording it right now. So let's see, um, will I be successful or not to complete this video. Okay. So the second one is the additional health and safety regulations. So safety regulations, okay, this is good. Like it means that there is less accidents, and of course, like the new workers who maybe don't know that how to use different machinery. So most of the time, if you see the freshers, most of the time freshers caught in the different accidents because they don't know that how to use the machinery. So if the safety regulations are there, if any additional health equipment or something like that, if these things are here, so it means that workers we will feel more safe. And again, this can be related to the motivation of your employees, and also because if there are less accidents, so what does that mean? Because if you see most of the MNCs, and not only the MNCs, some local factories and some local business do these things, that whenever any accident happen into their production department, so they have to compensate. Like for example, if we talk about the MNC, so if maybe any accident happens in your production department, so you have to compensate that accident with giving some amount, some health benefits, and also maybe you have to support their family. So this is how it means that it can maybe cost you a lot in the future. But if you are taking a year right now to give some additional health benefits and some safety regulations in the production department, so it can be beneficial for you in the long run. Also, it can be increase the productivity, increase the motivation. but yes, the cost is there. And the next one is employees can also only work a maximum of 15 hours each week. So we will see that how many hours which basically required by the AF, and by how many hours it is basically you can say that decreased, because now you have only 50 hours each week. It means that maybe if you need to work for 60 hours, but now you limit to 50 hours. And if we see that if we want to divide 50 hours by 7, so you will get 7 point something. So it means that each worker will do the work only for 7 hours. So it means that if previously your workers were working for maybe 8 hours or maybe for 9 hours to complete a task, but now they are limited to work only for 7 hours in each day. So it means that maybe somehow you will see the problems for the demand. Of course, it means that maybe if you are getting any project to maybe to complete any project in a certain time limit, or maybe you have to increase your output. So it means that now you are limited to work only 7 hours in a day. So it means that you have to hire more laborers, because the existing labor cannot work more than 7 hours. So this is also like a disadvantage. But yes, the advantage can be that if they are working for the lesser hours than before, so of course it means that they will be less tired. And if they are less tired, so it means that whatever they are working on, like whatever they are working and whatever the product they are making, it means that they would be 100% focused. But again, if we have to hire more labor, so it means that we have to pay them again the legal minimum wage. Let's suppose if maybe we are hiring some workers for the time part time, and if we think that the existing worker is maybe getting the minimum wage rate, but if we just want to reduce our cost of production, and if we try that maybe the extra labor we should give only the wage which should be lower than your legal minimum wage. So you cannot do that, because this is also a regulation. So it means that if you want to employ more laborers in production department, and you have to, so it means that you are basically forced to give the legal minimum wage to their fresh employees too. Okay. And to AF of segmenting its market. So segmentation is basically a very like it can create a lot of benefits, because if you're targeting a very like a segment of the market, so it means that you can identify more in a better way that what are their needs and what are their wants. And it means that you now can translate your customer needs and wants into your product more precisely. And it means that it can create a brand loyalty also. And of course your sales would also increase. You can earn a higher revenue. And like there are a lot of benefits of segmenting, because segmentation means that now you have you can say that a goal, that I have these certain people. Okay, these it's this is their nature, and this is their wants, and this is their needs, and this is their behavior. And also, like setting the prices is now more easy for you, because you know that you're targeting a high income earners or maybe low income earners. So you know that if you are maybe using the price skimming and price penetration, so you know better that what your customers demands from you, because you have a now target customer. But if you're dealing with the mass market, so it means that in the mass market there are different people with a different demographics, with a different language, with a different culture, with a different income. Okay, so it means that it would be more difficult for you to identify each and every customer need and wants. But if you have a segment, so it means that you are just basically lowering the burden on your shoulders to take out the research and um, to maybe make the product, and to maybe setting a price at tragedy. So it means that it would be more easy for you if it is related to marketing mix. If you just want to take the decision related to marketing mix, it means the 4 P's. So now if you have a segment, so it means that this would be more easy for you to set a strategy of marketing mix. So we will see that how many points we can add into it. Okay. Using appendix 2 and other information, consider each of the following elements of the marketing mix. AF's new meal. Would this be a suitable marketing mix for the new meal? Justify your answer. So I think we should only read the question right now, because it's I think very, we are taking a lot of time. So I think we should move to the case studies. Okay. So like we have to use the appendix 2. It means that there is something written about these three things. Okay. And we have to see the other information also. So consider each of the following elements. So these are the elements, different animals. So this is P, price, place, and this is promotion. Elements of the marketing mix for AF's new meal. Okay, so now it means that AF is basically going to introduce a new meal. So he set the marketing mix for the new meal, and we have to see that whether it would be useful or not. Would this be suitable marketing mix for the new meal? So like we have to see that what kind of business it is. Maybe if this business is kind of targeting a high income earners, and maybe if this is a brand, so it means that they cannot use the penetration pricing. And we will see the other things also, that maybe this place is suitable for them for not, or maybe for advertisement. So it means that we have to write positive and negative things about the penetration, but in the context. Okay, it means that we have to extract the situation, the circumstances from the case study, and we have to see that if they are using the penetration pricing, so what kind of disadvantage they have to see in the future. And the place. Okay, it means that we have to see that if they are going to sell the food into food by food retailers in the main city, so what are the pros and cons of it. And we also can discuss the other thing. It means that we can discuss the other distribution channel also. Okay. And the third one is advertising. It means a promotion. So for the promotion, they are going to use the social media. So of course, social media has a scope, and most of the business you see that they are not using the traditional methods now. They are mostly doing advertisement on the social media applications. So because this is very, cheap, and also you can set your settings. Like for example, if I just want to maybe target the population which should be around 18 years to 30 years, so now it is very easy for me to target those people. And like this is we can say that we can easily target our audience. But if we do the traditional marketing, so it would be very difficult for us, because if maybe we are using the billboards and newspapers, so we don't know that who are reading our advertisement. And because maybe the people who are using the newspaper, maybe they are not our target customer. But if we have segmented market, which we just discussed in previous question, that we have segment market, so it means that it is more suitable if we use the social media. Because we know that this is the age group, this is the income, this is their income, and in this country they are living, in this city they are living. So now it is very easy for us to target them. And in conclusion, we have to write that which marketing mix maybe would not be would more suitable, and the others would not be more suitable. So it means that we, for example, if we think that maybe financial filing is not suitable, so it means that we have to write here that all the marketing mix is okay, but this one is not okay, and we have to write the reasons. And now we have to write the reasons that why we are saying that place is okay and promotion is okay. And maybe if you think that maybe this place is not suitable for the new meal, so it means that we have to discuss this first, that why it is not suitable. Okay, and what other distribution channel we can use instead of this. Okay, and after that, this remaining two, it means the promotion and the price. So it means that we have to discuss that, okay, why these two things, why these two marketing mix would be suitable for the AF. Okay, so after that, the third question is that explain two ways an appreciation in the exchange rate of country X might affect AF. Okay, so basically in the country where in which AF is located right now, this is country X. So country X exchange rate is appreciate. So will see a lot of benefits. Let's suppose if we are importing something from the international countries, so it means that because now our exchange rate is appreciated, so it means that imports would be cheaper. So we will discuss about this, that the ways that how this can create benefit for the AF. We have to maybe write the benefit and the negative things also. And after that, consider the following two ways AF could increase output in its factory and which would be the best way to use. Okay, so it means that we have to link two things. It means that investing in new technology, how can this increase output? And if we may be buying more of the of our existing equipment, so how can this increase output? So we have to discuss about these things. Okay, so in question number four, we have to explain two advantages and two disadvantages for AF of using the retained profit as a source of finance for the investment in the factory. So using the retained profit is very beneficial. It means that we don't have to repay the loan, we don't need to pay the interest, and it can reduce our expenses, and hence the profit margins increased. And if retained profit is there, it means that we can use quickly, because most of the products, if maybe any product is a kind of an emergency, it means that we have to complete the project in a given time, and we don't have much time to take out the loan and going like to go through different documentations. So at the time, retained profit is there because it is quickly available. But again, this would not be suitable because maybe this would not be sufficient. And also maybe this retained profit, because if this is a partnership business, so if we are using this retained profit to invest something, to maybe to invest in anything, so it means that partners maybe would have a very less share of profit, or maybe no share of profit. So this kind of demotivating thing for them. And the B part is that using appendix 3 and the other information, consider the advantage disadvantage of the two new meals AF could choose to produce, and which meal should AF choose, and justify your answer using suitable calculations. So it means that we have to write some negative and positive thing about the meal 1 and about the meal 2, and at the end we have to discuss that the recommendation, that which meal is basically more suitable according to their pros and cons. And we will see that which meal has more pros and cons, and we would reject that. But just remember one thing, whenever you are doing conclusion, recommendation, anything, so just remember one thing. So if you are selecting one choice, so you have to give reasons about that. And if you're rejecting the other choices, okay, so you have to give reasons about them also. Okay, so in the conclusion, in the recommendation, you have to write the reasons. Whenever, let's suppose if I say that meal 2 is more suitable, so I have to talk that why meal 2 is more suitable, why this is more useful. Is this maybe giving you a less cost, or maybe this would be more popular between the consumers, it's maybe sales would be more high, or maybe something else. So I have to write the reasons that why I'm selecting, or why I'm saying that meal 2 is more suitable, and maybe it would bring a lot of benefits for AF than the meal 1. And now I have to write the reasons, at least two reasons, that why I am rejecting the meal 1. Okay, so yes, so we have done with the questions. So now let's discuss the case study. Okay, so in the case study, if you see that Sam started up his own business, AF. So its name was AF. So it means that he was a sole trader. He was the only person who was, having profits, sharing. There is no one who is basically sharing the liabilities with him, and he is basically solely responsible for his own business. But 6 years ago in country X, so it's been 6 years that he was working as a sole trader. So he received government support. Okay. So it means that there is something good he is doing. That is why government is basically supporting it. And our very first question is about that why government supports the business startups. So, but this question is we don't need to write any application for that question. So Sam used to live in country A. Okay, so its home country was different and its host country is different. So when he moved to country X, he could not find meals from his original country. So Sam decided to use recipes from the country A to make meals in his kitchen and sell them to people in the local area. Okay, so it means that he must be thinking at that time that maybe there are more peoples who maybe shifted in country A, and that is why maybe they also, misses their own original taste, their own recipes. So that is why it means that the sentiments of the people also are linked with these recipes. So because at the start he had been making these meals in the kitchen, so it means that the cost for the SAM was lower. Okay, and because at that time he was selling the meals to the local people. So now as demand increased, Sam set up 5 street market stalls across main city. So it means that it is kind of more accessible for the people, but it is not that much accessible because it is only selling in the main city. So it means that the visitors which maybe want to purchase something else in the market, so they can also have a taste of their recipe in from his market stalls. But this is not basically accessible for the people who maybe are living in different areas. Maybe the population who are not living in the main city, maybe they are living away from the city, so it means that they cannot enjoy these recipes. So many customers buy these meals because they are traditional and of high quality. So this is kind of the thing and why the people are basically attracting towards these meals. So there are no other business in country X that produce these meals, and this is also one more reason that there is no competitor in the market. So it means that they can increase their demand very easily, and they can expand also very easily. Why? Because of course there is no one who is producing these meals. So 2 years ago, Sam formed a business partnership with his brother. So now he's going to start the business partnership with his brother. They use retained profit from the business to invest in a factory to produce meals on a large scale. Previously, he was only making the meals in his kitchen, but now he is going to expand, and he not he only, both, because now they are partners. So now they are basically both going to produce the meals into their factory. So on the larger scales. So it means that of course they have to buy the equipment, they have to see the location, and also they have to purchase maybe technological things. So it means that they have to invest a lot of money into it. So AF now has 10 skilled production employees to make the meals in this factory. So uh, now in the factory he will be needed 10 skilled production workers. No, he has this 10 skilled production worker to make the meals in the factory. Okay. So AF imports 90% of the ingredients of its meal from country A. So it means that from country A, he is importing the ingredients. So because he was living in country A, so it means that he knows better about the market conditions of country A, and also he is basically more familiar with the ingredients, that which ingredient is basically quality wise more better than others. and also he must be having some links in the country A also. So it means that this would be very beneficial for it if he's importing 90% of ingredients from its country. So AF could buy some of the ingredients locally at a cheaper. Okay, so AF imports 90% of ingredients for its meal from country A, and AF could buy some of the ingredients locally at a cheaper price, but this may change the taste of meal. So now, this is not a good idea because if you see previously, so the examiner was saying that his food is more popular. Why? Because people like the originality of its meal and their traditional taste. Okay, so it means that if maybe he is going to purchase some ingredients from the local market, and if these ingredients can change the taste of the food, so it means that it would not be suitable. It means that you are basically maybe your customer would not be longer your loyal customer, because of course you will lost the taste of your food. So, however, most manufactured consumer products in country X are imported, and changes in the exchange rate will affect the prices of all imported products. And we have seen that countries X foreign exchange has appreciated. So it means that this 90% ingredients which we are importing from the country A, so it means that now it is less costly for us. So AF's factory has operated profitably since its open. There is a high demand for AF's meal, especially in the main city where there are many workers who used to live in country A. Okay, so it means that they already have their target market. The people who are working in the country, they are living in the country A, but now they are shifted in the country X. So Sam wants to expand the factory. So it means that the people who were purchasing their meals, they are mostly from the country A. So it means that now this is kind of risky, that maybe if they want to expand, or if they expand, so maybe the new people basically who are from country A may be not liking the taste of this food, because of course this is their traditional food, not the country X traditional food. So Sam wants to expand the factory, and he needs to decide whether to increase the output by. Okay. So we have first option, that investing in new technology at cost of $50,000 and buying more of their equipment at a cost of $25,000. So if you see, the cost is higher in term of new technology, and cost is lower in term of existing equipment. So if we go with the cost, so we can say that because since they are like the business is new, so it means that maybe this would not be suitable to invest a lot of money at the start of the factory. So we should go with the maybe the second option. But if you see that in this we have seen that this business is profitable, so it means that maybe they should invest in new technology so that they can increase their output. And if you see here, mm, that they want to increase their output also, because of course now they are expanding, now they are going to make their own factory, and they have to increase the output, and it can only be possible by investing in new technology. Because if the new technology is there, so it means that they can increase their output, and it can also increase their productivity. But there are some other disadvantages too, but let's discuss these things in the questions. Okay. So, as a part of the expansion, Sam is also considering introducing a new meal to AF range. Okay, so they want to expand, they want to open a new factory, and they also want to introduce a new meal. It means that this would be a good option, because the previous meal is basically this was liking by the persons who are basically previously living in country A. Okay, and we can say that that is why they are purchasing that meal, because they were used to it when they were living in their country. So that is why they just don't want to, um, maybe they just want to change their own taste, their taste of their tongue, and that is why maybe they prefer to eat from the AF rather than eating the traditional food of country X from the other businesses. So that is why, because now they are going to expand. So that is why they want to add one more meal into their range. So it can be a good option. Why? Because if they are expanding, so maybe the persons, the population who are basically residents of the country A, sorry, country X, maybe they would not be liking the taste of their traditional food much. So, but now, because if you are going to increase the range, so it means that you are basically giving them uh, a point where you can attract your customers more. So, again, like if, for example, if you are maybe introducing different types of new things into the market, so it can also help you to retain the attention of the consumers. And you can also spread the risk, because you are going to expand the expansion, you are going for expansion. So it means that if you have only one meal, so it means that there would be more risk. But if you're making now different ranges of meal, so it means that you are basically spreading your risk, and it is more essential to spread the risk at the start of the expansion. So there are two possible options to choose between. Financial details for each meal can be found in Appendix 3. So I think we should discuss the financial information first. So this is the financial information. So cost and revenue data for the two new meals AF could produce. So if you see for the meal one, the cost of the ingredients per meal was $4, and for meal two it is $3. So there is $1 difference. So we can go with the cost also. We can say that for meal one, the cost is higher, and for meal two is the cost is lower. So we can go with the meal just because that its cost is $1 lower than the meal one. And the number two is additional fixed cost per month, which is 6,000 for meal one and which is 2,000 for meal two. So again, if you see that there is a very huge difference, which is $4,000. So it means that meal one is basically we have to pay the additional cost, which is $4,000 if we compare its additional cost with the meal two. So again, the additional cost is $4,000 more if we compare it with the meal two. So it means that we can go with this also, that meal two is more good, more beneficial, because its fixed cost is basically less than the meal one fixed cost. Okay, and price per meal. Price per meal for meal one is $10, or for meal two is $5. So maybe at the start, it is a good idea that we should introduce this range for the lower prices, because at the start, it is always good to attract the consumers. So maybe setting a lower prices would also be a kind of a good option for us if we charge the lower prices. But again, it would be not suitable, because if you were selling the meal which maybe previously your meal was so popular, and right now because you are maybe going to reduce the prices or maybe set a very low price, so it means that it can give you an image, it can give an image to your consumer that this meal is not uh, quality wise, it is not up to the mark. Because whenever this is the you can say that nature of the consumers or the customers, that whenever they see the thing which is very selling in a cheap rate, so automatically they will be thinking that maybe this product is not good quality wise. So this is the reason that if you just want to maintain an image in front of your customers, so you have to set minimum maybe competitive price, and also you can select the price skimming. And forecast sales per month, which is 2,000 for meal one and 5,000 for meal two. So if you see that I have solved this question here, first of all, I discuss the variable cost here. That if the number of forecasted sales was 2000 in meal 1, and its variable cost would be 8000, and in meal 2, if you want to find out the variable cost, so you have the cost of ingredients per meal, which is $3, and you have total sales, which is 5000. So variable cost is 15000 for meal 2, and total cost would be for meal 1 8000. It is its variable cost of meal 1, and 6000 is 60000, sorry. Yes, 6,000. 6,000 is basically fixed cost. So altogether, its total cost is 14,000. And for meal two, its total cost is 17,000. Because 15,000 is basically its variable cost, and 2,000 is its fixed cost. So altogether, its total cost would be 17,000. And if you want to find out the profit, so if you see that its total revenue is $20,000, how did I find this? I basically multiply the selling price with the total sales, total forecasted sales. So this is 20,000 total revenue, total cost is 14,000, so profit is 6,000. And in this meal two scenarios, total revenue is 25,000 and total cost is 17,000 and profit is 8,000. So profit is 2,000 more than meal one. So it means that we have to discuss its calculations, that in meal one the prices are lower, ingredients costs are lower, sorry, prices were higher and ingredients cost was lower, and also the fixed cost is higher or lower. So we have to discuss these things, and also we have to discuss the other information. Okay. So in Appendix 1, information about the three legal laws being introduced in the country X. Okay. So first would be increase our minimum wage that must be paid to all employees, and AF already pays above the existing minimum wage. So it means that it would maybe not cost the AF. Why? Because if government basically impose this regulation on the AF, but if you see that AF is already paying the existing, like already paying above the existing minimum wage, so now it's not a problem for AF because it will not increase the cost for him. And number two is additional health and safety regulations. So this will require additional training and more safety equipment in AF's factory. So again, if you see that we are going to expand, we also need to purchase some equipment, okay, and also um, if we are going to introduce a new range, so we have to invest on this thing also. But now if there is one more regulation is there, it means that it is increasing our cost altogether. But this also has some benefits, and I have discussed its benefits when we were talking, when we were reading the questions. So the third one is that employees can only work a maximum of 50 hours each week, and AS production employees currently work 40 hours each week, but often work up to 60 hours each week when AF is busy. So it means that this is kind of emergency hours. It means that whenever maybe the demand is increasing, so at that time AF has to instruct their workers to work for a 60 hours. So it means that whenever the need arises, maybe at that time this would be difficult for AF to meet the demands of the consumers, but it can tackle it can like he can easily tackle this problem, how like he can maybe employ more laborers. So I have discussed this thing also, that what would be its advantage, disadvantage if he would be hiring more laborers for the production department. So let's see the appendix 2 to his brother about the new meal. Okay, so the brother is basically is the partner of the Sam now. So to Sam's brother from Sam, date 6 January 2024, there are 10,000 people, 100,000 people from country A currently employed in country X. Okay, so it means that their target market is basically expanding because they were previously hired sorry, they're previously targeting the employees who basically uh, come from the country A, and now there are more employees who are basically coming from the country A to the country X, and they are 100,000 in numbers. 60% of these employees earn a high income. But it doesn't, for example, if we see about meal one and meal two, so we can also discuss this thing, that because now they are going to target the 1,100 people who are coming from the country A. So if they are high income earners, so it means that we should not select that meal which is for lower prices. Okay, but the second thing we can say, that if their income is high, so it doesn't mean that we can charge the higher prices to them, because it means that they are shifted in country X from the country A. It means that they have to maybe send money back to their families. So it means that maybe they don't have enough money to get a sufficient meal for them, an expensive meal for them. So that is also a reason that we cannot select that meal which may be very costly price wise. So we can use this information also. Our tradition meals make customers feel like they are back in country A. So it means that the sentiments is basically linked with the meals of AF. So this should ensure the market segment are aiming at will keep buying our food. So of course, like this is very um, easy for us because we know our target market. So it means that we can easily translate their needs into the products. So I suggest the following marketing mix for a new traditional meal. So now he is saying that maybe price penetration would be best place, because previously they were selling the food by their market stalls, but now they are going to change it and they are basically selling to their food to the food retailers. And advertising. Now they are going to advertise on the social media. Do you think that this is a suitable marketing mix for the new meal? Okay, so first question is that explain four reasons why government support the startup of the new businesses. So there are different reasons behind that. The first reason can be that they want to reduce the unemployment. Why? Because of course, if there are more businesses, so it means that more businesses would be needing more laborers to work in the production department. And if they want to because if there are more businesses, so it means that they would be hiring more laborers. And if they are hiring more laborers, so it means that now more laborers are getting paid. And it means that now their purchasing power is increasing, and hence their living standard is also increasing. Reason two can be that if there are more new businesses, so it means that they would be providing some social benefits to the people also, which is basically aim of the government. Just remember one thing, that whenever government is supporting the new businesses, so they just want to accomplish their aim behind that. Because we know that the what are the aims for of the government: getting the a stable economy, economic growth, reduce unemployment rate, increasing the living standard, increasing the balance of payments, increasing the exports, reducing the imports. So these are basically the you can say that main aims of the government. And also reducing the interest rates and keeping the monetary policies stable, keeping the taxes stable. So all these things are basically government's aim. So if government is basically giving the support to the startup businesses, so what does it mean? That government is basically want to achieve its aim through the new businesses. Okay, so if, for example, if there are new business, so it means that maybe they would be doing more good things and more you can say that maybe some kind of social work for the people. So this is also a reason. And third reason can be that they want to increase the competition, because if we see the case study, although you don't need to write any application here, only in this question. Okay, because like for example, if you see that government supported the AF, why? Because there is no one who is making the same traditional food. So now this government want to increase the competition, so people would be having more choices, and more choices for the prices also. So this is why they just want to increase the competition, and so that people can get more choices and can get more prizes. So this is also one more reason that why the government is supporting the new startup business. And also government want to increase the overall output of the country. So because if the output is increasing, so it means that their overall GDP would increase. So I just want to make this question very short, because this question is very simple. We will be discussing more points in different other questions. Let's suppose the question B, the B part. So, in this question, we have to see that if the legal minimum wage, increase in legal minimum wage, if this regulation is there, so how can this affect the AF? So, first of all, maybe this would not be affecting. How? Because the AF is already paying above the minimum wage. So, it means that maybe it would not cost a lot AF. And the second thing can be that if maybe he is going to increase the wage rate, so what does it mean? Again, this would be a kind of motivating thing for your employees. And one thing more, because the AF is already paying the amount above the legal minimum wage, and now because this is a regulation, so it means that the other businesses are doing the same thing. It means that other businesses basically they will be starting increasing the minimum wage for the laborers. So it means that there is no differentiation now, because other business is now giving the same wage rate, and AF is also giving the same wage rate. So AF has a skilled production employees, and they are more skilled, and maybe they will be asking for more wages, because maybe they will see that in the other businesses people are getting the same rate, and in this business, although we are skilled, um, and also there is no one who are making this food. So it means that in the market, maybe it would be more difficult for you to recruit the extra laborers, to recruit the other laborers, because in the market, because these meals which is not producing by the other employers, the other businesses, so it means that maybe you will be see a lot of difficulty while finding the new laborers. Why? Because maybe new laborers, you have to give them training, because this food is not so popular. So it means that maybe no one knows that how to produce this food. They don't know even about the ingredients, because this ingredient, you are not using this ingredient from the local market, you are importing it. 90% of ingredients is coming from the country A. So it means that these employees, these laborers are very, you can say that, very precious for you. So that is why maybe you have to create a differentiation. So if the other business is also giving the same wage rate, and also you are giving the same wage rate, so it means that there will be no differentiation, and it can be decrease the motivation level of your employees. And the second one is that additional health and safety regulations. So maybe you remember in the case study that we have to purchase some more equipment to give some safety and health uh, facilities to our employees. So it would be beneficial, because no more accidents, people will feel safe more. It is beneficial for motivation. If motivation is there, productivity is there, increase output. Okay, these kind of things. And also there would be like cost, because like you have to purchase those equipments, and it is now very difficult for you at the start of the expansion, because you have the other things, because you are using the retained profit for expansion. So it means that for maybe purchase these equipments, you have to take out the bank loan, and again you have to pay the interest rate on monthly basis, and it can increase expenses and decrease your profit margins. Okay, so this is the reason. And the last one, employees can work a maximum 50 hours each week. So now again, like, there are a lot of disadvantages. We cannot meet the demand, and our main aim of expansion is that we want to increase the output. It means that we cannot achieve our aim if 50 hours is there. It means that every worker is doing the work for only 7 hours. So it means that whenever the demand is increasing, whenever we maybe finding any emergency to meet the demand, so at that time the workers would not be available. So it means that we have to employ the more laborers. So more laborers means that we have to give them again the minimum wage rate. We have to give them training. We have to purchase more equipment to for their health and safety related things. So it means that it would cost a lot. But because in the case study, if you see that the normal working hours only 40 hours, it is very rare that they will be finding difficulty and they will be finding a very higher demand. Since this is a new factory, so maybe at the start they will not be needed any in the start of the factory, because whenever a business is expanding, so whenever they introducing the new meals, so at the start the demand would not be so much high. So maybe in the initial years they will maybe not need any extra labors. They can maybe um, take benefit from the existing labor. So maybe they will maybe after 2 years, maybe after 3 years, they will see a surge in demand, but maybe in the initial year they will not see any kind of increased demand. So that's why it means that maybe this thing cannot affect the AF that much. So in the conclusion, so I have selected the minimum wage rate, that as in my point of view, the minimum wage rate is more affected for AF. So is minimum wage rate is more important factor because it is a continuous cost. Because if you see uh, the second one, okay, the purchasing the new equipment, so this is only a one time cost. But increasing the minimum wage rate, it is kind of a cost which is continuous. Okay, because I have told you that we are giving the wages already above the minimum wage rate, but we have to create a differentiation. So that's why maybe we have to pay some more wages. So this is the reason that every month we have to pay the wages, and it can reduce our profits. And it means that it would reduce the share for the partners also. And the training and equipment, maybe this is only one time cost, and its benefit is for long run. And also I would suggest that maybe 50 hours of each week would not be more problematic for the AF, because we are already working on 40 hours. It is very rare that we have to work for 60 hours, so maybe this would not be that much affected. So minimum wage rate in my point of view would be more affected for the AF. Okay, so the second question is that explain two benefits to AF of segmenting its market. So first of all, I have written here that it may increase the sales. How? Because targeting the segments means that it will allow you to cater the needs of the people, and product would be tailored as per the needs of the wants of the customers, and ensuring the needs and wants of the customers, and would want to it means that the customer would want more purchases from you, more meals from AF, and it can increase the sales, and hence your profit margins would increase. Because we know that if we are targeting the segment, so I think told you the maximum points for it, that how this segmentation would be more beneficial for the AF and higher revenues. How? Because if you're targeting a segment, so it means that 60,000 the high income earners are there in country, and it means that you can now charge them higher prices. And because 90% of the ingredients you are importing from the country, and now the exchange rate of the country X is appreciated. So it means that it does not cost you a lot because 90% of ingredients is coming from the outer side. And also because there is no competitor who are making same meal. So it means that these customers are basically compelled to purchase the meals from you. So that is why you can charge the higher prices. So if there is higher prices, so it means that there is higher revenue. Okay. So we have the B part. So first of all, if we use the penetration pricing, okay, so what would be the benefits? First of all, it would be more easy for us to attract the consumers, okay, and because we are basically going to enter in a new market with a new meal. So that is why it would be more important for us to reduce the prices, because at the start, whenever we are targeting the new market, so maybe reducing the prices would be a good approach just to attract the consumers or customers. Okay. And the number two thing is that, however, maybe customer would think that this food is for low quality. Okay. And it means that it would be a damaging point for the AF brand. So this is the problem. And if we talk about the place, the selling to food retailers in the main city, so maybe we can say that the new meal which maybe we can sell through the retailers will be available the people to many people who visited retail outlets. So it means that maybe AF can reach the wider market because previously he was selling the food through its stalls, but now if there are different retailers, and if they are selling the food to retailers and there are more visitors who are maybe visiting these shops, so it means that now they will see your brand, and maybe they will be more aware, and maybe they would try to taste your product, and that is why they will be purchasing product from you. And because food retailers are there, so it means that food retailers are also complacent for their commission. That is why they would try to sell your food to the consumers, to the customers. But however, the reason why we can say that maybe food retailer would not be a good distribution channel, why? Because first reason can be that they would be keeping their own profit margin, so it means that it can increase your prices. And if this is increase your prices, so it means that the increased prices would be maybe uh, your customer would not be purchasing anything from you because your prices are increasing. And because this meal is new, so you're targeting the extra, like you are entering into a new market, so that is why maybe customer would not be satisfied, or maybe customer would not want to purchase that food which is very new for them, because they just don't want to maybe invest a lot of money for a new thing. So this is also a reason. And advertising the social media, so if we are using the social media, so there can be a lot of uh, benefits for us. For example, we can say that if we are advertising on social media, so it means that it can be seen by the larger audience, okay, our post. And also it means that we can raise the awareness related to the new meal, because through the social media we can post the picture of our meals, we can post our different other ranges. It means that we can easily gather the information from the customer, their recommendation, their comments, bad or positive or whatever the comments are there. And through social media we can reach to the larger audience, and we need the larger audience because we are going to uh, we are going to basically introduce our new meal, and we can easily can target those 100,000 people from country A who are working in the country X. And we can our advertising would be more focused. We know that for whom we are doing the advertising, and our advertising would be more effective. And also there would be low cost advertising. Okay, but now we have to see its disadvantage also, because if you're using the social media for advertising, so it means that there may be negative comments on your post. So it means that it would be very difficult for you to counter the negative publicity for your meal. Maybe if any customer tried your meal and if he or she doesn't like the taste, so maybe he would be commenting bad about your uh, any specific meal. So it means that now it is very difficult, because the other customers who will see those comments, those bad comments, so it means that maybe it would also affect your potential customers decisions that whether they should purchase a meal from you or not. So in the conclusion, so if I say that maybe in the marketing mix the other two things are best, but the prices and the pricing strategy is not good, it means the price penetration. So I can say that maybe the marketing mix will be effective as the prices will be low. Sorry, if I say that maybe we should not using the penetration pricing, so I can say that maybe this pricing method would not be best to choose, because price could be set higher to appeal to the target market, because there are 60% the person who are earning the high income. So maybe a low price may make consumers think that maybe product is a low quality, and then maybe they may not try to new meal if they already buy AF's products. And it also reduces the revenues and which you earn from the sales. So price skimming would be maybe more better pricing strategy. Okay, and so if we choose a price skimming method, so it means that it will lead to customer thinking that meal is of high quality, and that it is new and may be willing to pay this high prices. So this is a reason that maybe the other things are up to the mark, but maybe price penetration is not a good strategy. Okay, so the third question is that explain two ways an appreciation in the exchange rate of country X might affect the AF. So first of all, if we talk about its imported things, because this would decrease the cost of imported raw materials. Okay, so we have to write the way one here, and now we have to explain the reason. Since they are importing 90% ingredients from the other country, which is country A. So now because their imported uh, ingredients cost would be decreasing, so it means that it would be enable them to reduce the prices also. And since they are going to introduce a new meal, so now it would be more beneficial for them to reduce the prices, because also this is a good time to reduce the prices because appreciation is also there. So it means that your AF's products would be more competitive because you can reduce the prices, and so that is why maybe sales and your revenue would be rise. And if we talk about the way too, so how can this be like, how can an appreciation the for exchange rate would be affect the AF in a positive way or maybe in a negative way? So maybe we can say hmm, that maybe may increase spending on AF meals. So what does that mean? It means that low prices of imported consumers products may mean a lower proportion of income spent on the essentials. So this is also a reason. Because it means that lower prices of imported consumer products may mean a lower proportion of income spent on essentials. So this is also one more way that how an appreciation of exchange rate of country X would be affected AF. And we can also see that maybe profit margin may increase due to lower raw material cost, and if prices are not reduced, so profit may be increasing. Because if we go with the meal two, which is very costly, I think its price was $10. So if we choose the meal two option, so what does that mean? It means that we are not reducing the prices, but we are decreasing the cost of production, and our profit margins will be boom. So it means that this is how the appreciation of the exchange rate of country X might affect the AF. And now one more thing can happen, because the employees who are working in the country X right now, and it means that now there is appreciation of exchange rate of country X. So it means that maybe the money they are sending to their family, may it would be you can say that because they are sending the money into the currency of country X. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that for country A it would be more valuation, more because according to the country A, the valuation of the country X currency would be more. So it means that now employees of country X would have more money to spend on the essentials, and maybe the employees who are working in the country X now have more money, so that is why they would be spending more on to purchase the meals from the AF. So this is how it would be affect the AF. Okay, so that we have two ways to increase the output. The first one is that new technology, investing in a new technology, and the second one is buying more of their existing equipment. So first of all, if we see the pros of investing in new technology, so the pros can be that if we are investing in a new technology, so it means that our productivity would increase, can increase, and it means that it will allow us to create a greater quantity of meals to be produced, and that's how it can increase our sales if our output is sold. So this is the advantage of investing in a new technology. uh, and also because if we invest in a new technology, so it means that our employees would be more motivated. How? Because of course we are giving them a training to use a new technology, so it means that it would be maybe create a greater job satisfaction for them, and they would be not bored, and they would be not removed from the jobs, so that is why they would be more motivated. If we talk about the disadvantages, so we can say that it would be expensive to purchase, because we have seen its cost was $50,000. So it means that we have to take out the loan from the bank, because the retained profit, we already investing the retained profit in the expansion. So that is why maybe we would require some additional finance. We have to take out the loan from the bank. So it means that it can increase our cost, because we have to pay the interest on the loan, and hence it would decrease our profits. And also the new technology is basically changing all the time. So maybe the investment on the new equipment would be because it may be with the passage of time it would absolute out of date, and maybe you have to replace it more frequently, and that is why you may be not more competitive in the market. So this is the some pros and cons of investing in the new technology. And if we talk about that, if we are going to buy the more existing equipment, so what would be the benefits and negative pros and cons for it? So for example, if we buy the more existing equipment, so what would happen? First of all, because we are using the existing equipment, it means that we can maybe maintain the traditional taste of our food. Okay, and therefore maybe we are maintaining the sales for the meal too again. And the number two is that we can say that maybe there would be no or little training would require, because employees already know that how to use this existing equipment, so it means that it would stop the cost increasing. And we can also say that it is much cheaper than the investing in new technology, because it only need $25,000. Okay, so it means that maybe we will be less needing the taking out the loan from the bank, and it means that we have to pay a very less amount of interest rate, and it means that our profit margins would not decrease by that much amount if we invest in a new technology. But if we talk about its negative thing, so we can say that maybe it would not be efficient as a new technology, so maybe output would not increase as quickly as we want, and it means that unit cost may be fall as far as if new technology had been used. So this is also a negative thing. So if we want to make a recommendation now, so let's suppose if I say that maybe AF should buy new technology, okay, for its factory. So as it will increase productivity because it is our main aim, and therefore reduce the unit cost of meals. And it is very crucial for us to decrease the cost of the meal because we are expanding, and this will either increase its profitability or maybe allow AF to reduce the prices because we are going to enter into a new market. Okay, so more existing equipment should not be purchased as it will keep productivity at the same level, giving AF no comparative advantage because the productivity would not be increasing if we use the same existing equipment. It would giving us the productivity level which we were have in the past. So but now because we are expanding, we need to increase the output. So that is the meaning that existing using the existing equipment would not be a good idea. Okay, so the next question is question number 4, and we have to discuss the advantage and disadvantage of the AF for using the retained profit as a source, as a source of finance. Okay. So if we say it's pros, okay, it's advantage. So advantage, we can say that we don't have to repay that amount because it's a retained profit. So it means that we don't have to repay, unlike if we purchase the new technology. So at that time we have to take out the loan and we have to pay back that money to the bank. But now if you're using a retained profit for expansion, so it means that they would be not we will not be taking out any loan. So retained profit, using retained profit means that it would we don't need to pay any interest payment, and it means that it would not increase our expenses and decrease our profit margins. And also it would be available straight away. It means that there would be no delay for investment for the two partners. It means that we don't need to go through different documentations. We have this money already, so we can invest it very easily. If we talk about the disadvantage, so we can say that maybe it would not be sufficient because it's only 2 years this business is started. If you just remember the case study, so it's only 2 years that they started as a partnership business. So it means that maybe retained profit was is not that much sufficient, which we are thinking right now. So maybe in the future we will be having lack of finance, and at that time we have to make a bank loan. We have to take out the bank loan. So that is why maybe retained profit would not be that much sufficient. And if we talk about its second disadvantage, so we can say that if we are using the retained profit, so it means that it would reduce the payments to the owners. Okay, so how? Because little return on the investment for the partners. So this would also be a disadvantage of using the retained profit. Okay, so now we have to choose that should we choose meal one and should we choose meal two as a new range of our products. Okay, so we have to see its calculations. It means that we have to consider its calculation and its other information also. So if we talk about the meal one, so we have done with the calculation previously. Okay, and for meal one, the price for the meal one was $5, and for the meal two, I think it was $10. So we can say uh, no, I think for meal one it is $10. Just give me 1 second so I can see. Yes, this one. I think we should just stick on this page. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the cost. Cost for the meal one is $4 and for the meal two is $3. So we can go with the meal one because its cost is $4. Okay, and we can also negate this thing again, that maybe mm, yes, we can go with the meal one because its cost is only $4, and for meal two it is only $3. Sorry, for we should go with the meal two because its cost is $3. So if we talk about its fixed cost, so fixed cost wise, maybe we should select the meal two because again the meal one is having a high fixed cost. That means that meal two is basically perfect because its additional cost is only 2000 and price of the meal one is $10. So because it is a new meal, and since maybe the customer you are targeting, they have to send back money to their families, they don't have maybe enough money to spend on the essentials, and since this meal is very new for the people, maybe they would not try the meal for such a high prices. So that is why maybe entering in a new market, maybe meal two would be more appealing by price wise. And forecast sales per month, which is meal one for 2000 and for meal two it is 5000. So if you see that the forecast sales per month is more in term of meal two and less in term of meal one, and this is just because of that, because prices are reducing, prices are decreased, prices are very lower. So maybe the forecasted sales per month is rising just because that your price per meal is very lower. But we have to discuss the other things also. For meal one, we can say that its price is basically higher than the meal two, which is $5. Okay. And we can also say that its total cost is basically lower at 14,000 per month. If you see this one, it's for meal one, its total cost is 14,000, or for meal two, it is 17,000. Okay. So for meal one, the cost is basically lower than the meal two. Okay. So this is also a reason that we can go with the meal one. And also we can say that its profit is 6,000 and meal two profit is 8,000. So meal one has a disadvantage that we can only earn 6,000 profit. So this is also a reason that we can say that meal one would not be perfect for us. So if we talk about a disadvantage, so profit is a disadvantage, okay, and also the fixed cost is higher in meal one, okay, and the cost of ingredients is basically for meal one it is higher, which is $4. So it means that if the cost for the meal one is higher, so it means that maybe at the start of the expansion, because we have to incur a lot of cost for in the labor terms, because we have to increase the wages also, we have to maybe hire more laborers. So at that time, maybe selecting the meal one would be a stupid idea because its cost is very high. Okay, so after that, if we talk about the meal two, so if we see its advantage, so its total revenue was $25,000, so it is a good thing. And also its forecasted sale was higher, which is 5,000. Okay, and also its profit margin is also higher. I think its profit is $8,000. Yes, its profit is 8,000, so it is also a good option. uh okay, so after that, if we talk about its disadvantage, so we can say that its total cost was 17,000, so it would cost you a lot, plus fixed cost plus variable cost. Okay, and this is it maybe because we are charging lower prices for meal too. So again, this would maybe give image that maybe this quality is not up to the mark. So this is also the reason that we can say that meal two would not be suitable. So at the end, we have to make the recommendation. So for the recommendation, I can say that maybe meal one is better. Okay, and how? Because it has a higher gross profit and it is likely to increase further after appreciation in the exchange rate for country X, and it will leading to lower import cost of the ingredients, and the price is higher than the meal too. And it means that it should not be deter workers for from other country, as there are 60,000 people who are earning the high incomes because they are high income. So high income earners, so it means that if you're increasing the prices, so they will still purchase the meals from you. So you don't need to decrease the prices. Okay, and maybe um, because there are 60,000 people who are working, who are earning high income. So it means that in country A, the workers who are earning high income, they are in number 60,000. So it means that, and they are their target market also. So it means that they don't need to decrease the prices. And if we say that maybe meal 2 is more suitable, so we can say that maybe Me Too is better as it achieves 2000 higher profit per month, which we have seen. Okay, and has a higher profit margin by 2% than Meal 1. If you maybe compare its profit margin, so it becomes 2%. So that's why maybe Meal 2 is more better, and the prices will also decrease. So that's mean that again, if we are using a very less prices, so it would be more appealing for the new consumers. So we can use these comments as our recommendation. Okay, so we have done with these this paper, and I think I should end the class here, and maybe I will make the next video related to the paper one. And if you have any query, so you can just drop a message on my WhatsApp, and you can comment under the comment section. And I am also giving the link of this paper, its case study and its question paper, under the comment section, and you can get access from me to view this paper. Okay, goodbye.